But the house was always like robust, fun, vibrant, music, food. And that's what made me really fall in love with food. Even like coming back from like kindergarten, it was like in the kitchen. Coming back from first grade, like in the kitchen. And when I was 7 years old, I told him I wanted to be a chef. I saw a commercial for Culinary Institute of America. Everybody was sitting there. I still remember. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to that school. I'm gonna go there.
Hello. This is diaspora. Hey guys, welcome back to Campers. I'm so excited to be back in 2026. This is our first episode into the new year, and today we have Chef JJ Johnson. He is a chef. He is a New York native. He is an author, a TV host, and a restaurateur. We are making a Caribbean jerk chicken, and we're pairing it with a coconut rice with some peas and toasted coconut on top. He mentioned that this was a dish that made him feel like home. The chicken I'm not worried about. Rice, I think, is like pasta, it is a specific act. This is long grain rice, which is more traditional to what I found out, Caribbean cuisine. In a restaurant, you're washing your rice. I'm a hit or miss with washing rice. If I am cooking for myself, half of the time I don't wash it. I beg to ask, if you're judging me for not washing my rice all the time, do you wash your rice at home every single time? I bet no. First I'm gonna put this in. We're at 350 and I'm keeping it on convection so that there's a fan going. And we're gonna cook this for about 45 minutes. Then I'm gonna put the broil on. I bawl when I cut a really good, that's when you know it's a really good shallot or onion. We're good here. We're gonna saute our onions in coconut oil. This is from Farm to People, who we are now working with all of our produce. I'm also gonna add ginger to the rice once it's cooking. But Fieldtrip is a soulful grab and go or stop and eat rice-based bowls. So let's put this in. There you go. We are toasting some coconut flakes, and we're gonna top both rice and chicken with the toasted flakes. This will add a little bit of like a kick to the creamy coconut. Wow. The skin is literally bubbling and coming off of the chicken. I'm gonna flip on broil. I'm now gonna add peas. Also from People, I love that these are straight from upstate New York. Peas will add a nice sweetness to the rice. Oh boy. I'm just gonna scoop some sauce on top. The skin looks very good. I'm gonna kind of pile it. Let's get the chicken on there. A little off-center, just how we like it. And then we're gonna take our very crispy coconut and just sprinkle all over the top. Hello, are you here? Perfect, we'll see you in 7 minutes. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Come on in. Welcome to Frank's house.
Thanks for having me.
This is our kitchen, and I've made you Caribbean jerk chicken and rice.
Nice.
So I want full honesty.
Listen, I just said chicken and rice. You could have went anywhere in the world.
I know, but that was a terrifying thing to do for like the rice man.
Definitely, it smells delicious.
Thank you. I think the chicken came out pretty darn good.
Is this like your, is this like the drippings?
Yeah. All right, this will be your piece. All right, moment of truth.
Okay.
I know that this chicken is hot. Do you like spice?
Oh yeah, I love spice. You're good on that. We're good on the spice. That's delicious. Like super juicy.
That's good chicken.
Good spice. Did you wash your rice?
I did.
Great, thank God.
But you should know, I don't always wash my
But you should now.
When I'm by myself, there's no fucking way I'm washing my rice. It's true, I promise you.
It's good.
welcome to Campers. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. You have any person I've spoken to about you can only say really, really fond, wonderful things about your personality, you as a person, along with the food that you cook.
Oh, that's really nice to hear.
And I mean it, not just saying it to toot your
Because you're
horn.
always trying to figure out, what do the streets really say about you?
They say good things.
Oh, that's good to hear.
They say really good things.
I try to put as much good into the world so it comes back.
I think it's coming back and it's hitting people in a really warm, delicious way.
Oh, that's good. Well, you made some delicious food, too.
I am so happy and relieved. The man of rice said he wanted the dish. I mean, I don't know if you realized that would be prompt into what I'm cooking, but it was slightly terrifying to cook chicken and rice and go a direction that I think you would like and appreciate. So I'm so happy that
I was going to put like pancakes on there as like a joke, or like French toast. Just like
pancakes I'm good at. French toast I don't really cook so often.
But rice for me is, I just said chicken and rice. And that can take, I just wanted to see where it was for you, because I do love chicken and rice. I do love like roasted chicken when, the drippings are at the bottom and you pour it over like beautiful white rice.
Hell yeah.
And it sops it all up.
Just lubrication.
Yes.
It's delicious. Well, I'm happy I did you well. I am going to take a different route in how I start our interview, because this is the first time meeting you, which you are the first. Every other guest I've got to meet in person, I had a coffee with them, or I sat in their restaurant, which I will need to come to Fieldtrip soon. So I usually do a little speed round at the end of the interview, but we're going to do that at the beginning of the interview just to get us real excited for our conversation.
Speed round it is.
Take your time, but not really. Okay. So a flavor that you hated as a kid, but you now love.
Wow, a flavor I hated as a kid that I now love. I have like a sleeve tattoo.
Is it all the flavors that you hated?
On the top part of my sleeve is beets, squash, patty pan squash.
Patty pan squash.
Yeah, all like yellow zucchini.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to cook those
And
items.
you couldn't stand them.
Oh my goodness, like that steamed zucchini and squash. Used to force feed those red beets.
Yep. Stains everything.
And
now you love it.
Yeah, I love those flavors.
It usually comes back, right?
There's something about them that's like really nice. Like the sweetness of beets, you can use it like savory, sweet. You could just roast them. You can salt them. I mean, there's so much you can do with it. I don't mind it turning my hands purple anymore.
I love it.
But there's so many other colors of beets.
Yeah, yellow, orange.
Yeah, so many.
They're all good. Beets is one of my favorite foods. Okay, one ingredient you always keep stocked.
Cinnamon sticks.
Interesting.
Because you can use it savory.
Yes.
Because I cooked in Singapore and they used to make like this cinnamon chicken.
Delicious.
And it's so good. And after that moment of my career being there, I was like, oh, I got to tuck the cinnamon in my pocket and bring it with me everywhere.
And always a cinnamon stick, not cinnamon.
Yeah, because cinnamon sticks, they last a little longer. You can grate them on a microplane. Mm-hmm. They just give more controlled flavor. The powder is like...
It's a lot.
It goes everywhere.
It does. All right. Food you make when no one is watching.
Food I make when nobody's watching is oatmeal.
Oatmeal?
With jam.
Okay.
So I can make oatmeal and then...
Do you like a more dry or more wet oatmeal?
I like a more wet oatmeal. Okay. And then right at the end of that oatmeal, I throw in like jam from a farm that I'll get right into it. And then swish it all around so it gives you like sweetness. You get some of the chunk.
Is this for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or?
Breakfast or lunch.
Okay. Oatmeal. It's a healthy choice. I am not going to tell you my choice. Gas flame or open fire?
Wow.
I know.
If it was up to me right now, open fire.
Okay.
Like I'm playing around a lot with open fire. Mm-hmm. I'm like onto this whole new thing of like using coconut husk.
What is that exactly?
Like the husk of the coconut. You can use as your charcoal or your wood when you're burning. Wow. And it gives you like this beautiful essence of flavor. It smells so good in the air. So it's something I'm playing with. So open flame. If not, then gas, of course.
Where do you cook open fire?
I cook open
We
fire.
can't talk about that.
I cook open fire, my parents' backyard from time to time.
Fair. Do you set up kind of like the smoke ring or more?
I haven't set up the smoke ring yet. I feel like that's a real technique. I see a lot of chefs right now, no shade to those chefs, but I see a lot of chefs right now like doing these open flame. They have no idea what they're doing. Fair. Like you watch what's his name on like chef's table. He's got the open fire, pineapples hanging.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I can do that. But it's like a whole technique. My open fire is really like the contact of fire. So it's like in a big green egg,
Totally.
Cinder blocks, building the fire, and then grilling or smoking, or even quick touches. Like I was playing around with tuna the other day. It's like crispy rice. And instead of doing like tuna tartare, I was like, oh, let me smoke the tuna real quickly. And then dice it, and then hit it with some stuff like lime juice and things.
Jesus.
So
smoke and sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so open flame.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, first thing you want to taste when you travel.
The first thing I want to taste when I travel?
Yeah, you're off
the
plane.
people's food.
Perfect answer.
I don't
Some
want to taste
people are
nothing
like,
else. What do they want to taste? Like a rum punch?
Their coffee is, I feel like, a popular answer. They always want to, that food.
The first thing I do when I travel, if you've ever traveled with me, and if you've traveled with me, I'm asking the people where they eat. And on my way from the airport to the hotel, we're stopping somewhere in that distance to taste the people's food.
I love that. Well done.
It's not no coffee. The coffee.
All right, fuck coffee. Okay, jazz or hip hop?
Ooh, that's so tough. Hip hop all day.
Okay.
I love jazz, but hip hop, right? And I
in
feel
the
like
kitchen, you have
hip hop. Yeah, I think like you have music for moments. Like I'm probably listening to like R&B and jazz together as a mix for like innovation, tapping in. And then I'm using hip hop as like a motivational tool for the kitchen. But right now, like hip hop is having a moment. Like hip hop beef right now is, we got this fabulous 50 Cent beef going on. But it's like real old school hip hop. It's like great.
It's good beef.
It's good beef.
It's good beef.
It's good for the industry.
Okay, last speed round question. A rule you secretly break in the kitchen.
A rule I secretly break in the kitchen.
Maybe you never wash your rice. Who knows?
No, I do wash my rice. A rule I secretly break in the kitchen. I think right now my career is like I don't set up my station anymore.
Really?
Somebody
Does that fuck you up?
Like somebody sets up my station for me.
Oh, that's fine.
Like and then once I'm on my station, then I'm like, if I'm rocking out the station for the day, I'm in it, but like I don't have the time or the mental capacity to set my station up. I'll cut my own herbs. I'll fold my own towels, but somebody's like gathering all my ingredients for me.
I think you,
which is like a rule breaker for a chef. Yeah. Thank you.
I think you've earned that qualification of somebody setting. I thought you were just going rogue and like you just don't set up a station, which would give me so much anxiety.
No,
for cooking.
I couldn't do it. Sometimes I want to do that, but I don't do it.
Even at home, I can't do that.
But a rule that I break, I probably break a lot of rules in Fieldtrip that piss off my managers and people, but it is what it is.
They're still working for you.
They are still working for me.
They're staying for a reason.
Yes, and I'm very thankful.
Fair. Okay, that was fun. See, I like doing that in the beginning. I've never done that. It was great.
That was cool, yeah.
We got some laughs. Now we could bring it back to your early days. And I read a lot about how your grandmother influenced you as a chef, and she was a big part of your upbringing, and you were in the kitchen next to her learning. What was or what is a fond memory of that time?
We were talking about this earlier. You're from Long Island. My mom's from Long Island. My grandfather sold his house in the 80s, and everybody moved to Pennsylvania. We all lived like right around the corner from each other. Everybody. So my mom, my mom's side of the family. So my mom, my aunt Lisa, my dad who's married, my dad, and then my uncle Donald. There's a debate that Aunt Lisa and Uncle Donald were building a house, built their house before everybody else, but I'm not from that era. I just listen to everybody talk about it. But the three families moved together, and we're all around the corner from each other. I think if they would have done it again, they probably would have just built one house, like three
Like a
houses on one
compound?
block, and took the whole block, like because the Poconos were like pennies then, still pennies now.
Yeah.
And my dad would commute back and forth to New York City to work. My mother was a school teacher, so was like 5 minutes from where we lived. She would drop me off in the morning at my grandparents' house, and that's where I was
Most of the
all the time. And my grandfather would sit in this green chair that he had. He would be watching the news or sports, and my grandmother would be cooking.
Always.
Always. And in that house, also my two great aunts lived too. So Tia Candy, Tia Kung lived there as well because they lived with them in Long Island.
Okay.
And they moved here. So my grandmother's Puerto Rican, my grandfather's Bajan, but from Barbados. My mom's side, my mom's parents, and they just cooked. Like the Poconos doesn't have much. Like Ski Town.
Because you could hike.
You could hike. You go skiing. You 4-wheel. You go in those heart-shaped jacuzzis.
Isn't there a full place that is like hotel rooms that have
Full place.
the heart?
There used to be a lot of places.
Wow. Or like the Champagne.
The Mount Airy Lodge place.
Yeah, that
yes.
seems like Poconos.
It worked for a really long time. But they cooked. They would make their own stocks. They would wash their rice. They would cook Latino food, Caribbean food, and just non-traditional things. And then at the end of the day, everybody would come back from work and sit around the table.
Every night.
Yeah, for the most part. Like if you hustled back from New York City, you got it, or if you didn't. But in the early days, it was me, my mom, my sister then, and then my grandparents, my great aunts, and my grandfather all around the table. Then when my grandmother passed away when I was like 8 years old,
You were young.
Then then that table, everybody shifted to my parents' house. So then they all came over there. But Tia Kong kept cooking until she got senile and then had Alzheimer's. She lives like 102 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to have this joke as a kid, like when she loses her last black hair, that's when she'll pass away. Because she would be like,
Just
like half her hair would be like
kicking.
pure white. And then the other half would be pure black. And it would go like strand by strand by strand. It was the craziest thing.
That is
making sure my mom would tell me, you need to stop. I'm like,
all natural.
all natural.
Coil de Bill.
Never dyed her hair.
Wow.
Yeah. And Tia Candy State. Tia Kung went to Colorado with my great uncle because my grandfather couldn't. I think he was like, okay, can't do this. But the house was always like robust, fun, vibrant, music, food. And that's what made me really fall in love with food. Like I was watching cartoons, but I really wasn't watching cartoons 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was like in the kitchen. Even like coming back from like kindergarten, I was like in the kitchen. Coming back from first grade, like in the kitchen. And when I was 7 years old, I told him I wanted to be a chef. I saw a commercial for Culinary Institute of America. Everybody was sitting there. I still remember. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to that school. I'm gonna go there.
Wow.
And I think everybody chuckled, and then it grew. And then I started to make birthday dinners for everybody. And the first one I did, I burnt the lasagna for Aunt Lisa, but I was making birthday dinners. And then it started to get really serious. And then my mom was like, me and her have this kind of back and forth about this. It was like, we're a working class family. Like you're not going backwards in time.
Yeah.
You need to get a real career. Like you need to be a doctor, a politician, a lawyer, something, a chemist, I don't know, something that you'll get a pension or retirement. Why are you going to cook?
Yeah.
And
doesn't seem like a real job. I know that's a shitty thing to say, but I feel like
it's a blue collar job.
Yeah.
The only thing that doesn't make it blue collar in like today's society is that you see us all on television, or you see not all of us, but you see some of us on TV, and that has changed the industry tremendously for people to tap in to think like, hey, I can do this. But I remember going like on college visit, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go to this place, CIA, and that's it. My mother was like, no, you're gonna go see a bunch of other culinary schools that have culinary programs, hospitality programs. And then so we went to Johnson Wales, went to New England Culinary, went to CIA. We did it all in like a long week. And my mother wanted me to go to Johnson & Wales because it felt like it's a college.
That has other things.
Has other things just in case you don't want to do it. She's smart. And I was like, no, this is CIA. She was like, well, you got to get accepted first. And I was like, remember that acceptance letter coming and opening it together and getting accepted and never turn back. I owe those guys a lot of money, but that's pretty much my career. I worked as a dishwasher at a country club. I rode my bike too.
Is this during school?
No, in high school.
In high school. Okay.
Yeah. So I was always in it. If I was to do one thing over again at a young age, I probably would have tried to work in the best restaurant in the Poconos to have better experience going into culinary school.
Okay.
Because I was the worst kid in my class. I thought I was like great. Like I know to like, fillet, break down the chicken. That's the only thing I knew.
I mean, it's a start, but we could break down a lot of other things too. And you
so
probably
it was a
learned
struggle
all
for
that.
me. I wanted to give up early on.
It was a 4-year program?
It was a 2-year program. And then I took a year off and went back for the other. So there is a 4-year program now.
Okay.
But when you went there early on CI, you would graduate your associates. You'd have to enroll halfway through to see if you would get accepted to bachelor's.
Oh, wow.
And then they would accept you to bachelor's or not. But I took a year off because I needed more experience. And then when I came back, it really clicked for me because I understood what the chefs and the professors and everybody was talking about because I saw it in real life.
Where did you go in that year break?
I went to Seton Hall University for.
Oh, you went to school. You didn't go to work in.
I did go to work.
Okay.
But I went to Seton Hall for a semester, and that's when I really figured out how much I love food because all I did was talk about food all day. And the students are like, yo, bro, give it up, man. Like, nobody cares about food. Like, they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yo, your cafeteria food sucks.
All of it sucks.
Like, what is this? Tater tots, pancake? Like, this how you eat? Like, well, how are you eating? I was like, oh, you have no idea. And this one, I was like, oh my goodness, I miss CIA's food.
Yeah.
And then Seton Hall basically retracted all my credits. They basically said, like, your credits don't transfer here.
Oh, gosh.
And my parents had to show up to school, talk to the dean. I probably should have sued them.
Yeah, I mean,
For the $40,000 that I spent for that semester.
that's crazy.
Wild. The only good thing that came out of there was like four great friends.
Are you still friends today?
Still friends with them today.
All right, it's worth 40K.
So it's 40K for
each.
them, 10K each. You know who you are. I'm not gonna call you out, but you know who you are. And then I went to work at a place called Skytop Lodge in the Poconos, beautiful place in the mountains. I worked in their main restaurant.
Okay.
And
Cooking.
Cooking, line cook. So I worked there. Chef Steven was a chef. So I worked breakfast, lunch, and then I would run across the golf course to work in the lodge
For dinner.
for dinner.
That's a hell of a day.
Right.
Were you also doing prep as well?
Prep as well. So like 5-6 days a week doing that. And just working, trying to stack up my chips. I think I went to go like hang out with I was dating a girl at Vassar at the time. So I would like go back to Vassar here and there. I think she still hates me today.
We could ask her. But we probably shouldn't.
We shouldn't.
No.
And I would like travel back and forth and like hang out with friends. And then one day I was like, I gotta go back to CIA. Like I gotta get my bachelor's. And I also promised that to my parents.
Okay.
So I called 2 friends, Justin Gaines and Catherine Hernandez. I was like, yo, y'all coming back for bachelor's with me? And they were like, what? Catherine was working at Four Seasons Beverly Hills. Justin was like in Montclair, like running some restaurant. And they were like, come back for bachelor's? Like, you're crazy, bro. I'm like, yeah, let's go back. Let's run it again. Let's go do this.
And that would be another full year.
That would be 2 more years.
2 more years.
Yeah, 2 more years.
Did they follow you?
They did.
Wow.
They did. And and then this part of my career, what I call it, they got a house and rented out the other rooms.
Okay.
And I should have went to that house.
You should or you should not?
I should have.
Okay.
And like my room and board would have been less, all the things. But at that time, like snow was crazy in upstate New York during the winter time.
Yeah.
And you can't miss class.
No.
Not at Culinary Student America. Like there's no such thing when it snows. You can't miss class. No. Like other schools, Marist would be closed, all the other colleges would be closed, but you'd still be in session.
CIA is open.
Yeah, like restaurants are still open when it snows. And they're building that mentality. So I was like, oh, I got this like little 4-door car.
Was that something in your brain that it was hard to accept that like, oh, this is the life of restaurants and a chef, that it's never an off button?
I don't think it ever crossed my mind because I'm a firm believer that Culinary Student America brainwashes you.
How so?
Because like these things, like you got to show up, you're going to work 15 hours. Like from the moment you step on that campus and you watch that video, they're like giving it to you hard. Like there's no way around it. They're like giving it to you. They're telling you how it is. Your chefs are telling you how it is. You're getting thrown out of classrooms. You're getting screamed at. I mean, they're the real reason. Culinary schools are the real reason why the culture of restaurants are so effed up.
Because it's so difficult.
It's crazy. Like it's like running like the military.
Yeah.
And then you come into the real world and you start talking to people like that because you mimic what you see.
Of course.
Right? And then it's like after a while it gets diluted because myself, who becomes an owner, or you become an owner, you're like, we're not going to talk to people like that anymore. We're not going to do this. We're not going to. And then culinary school then has this clash with the real life industry.
Do you think it's shifting at all that they...
I think it's shifting because, as you get new board of directors, as you get new board of trustees, as you get fellows, as you get all these things with the new mindset, it changes. I still think like the industry, you're in the people industry, so it is tough.
People are tough.
People are tough. You don't have a chance to, like you mess up somebody's steak, it's coming back. Like there is no like soft glove. There is none of that. Like it is a tough, rigorous way.
I do think that culinary school, I mean, I did a short stint in Paris at Cordon Bleu, and it's like you can't even breathe.
No.
And we are functioning adults and we realize like this is not how things are, but in those classrooms, that is how it still is.
I remember like failing my first term practical to go on my externship. And I was making French onion soup and I dropped the pepper
into the soup.
And I don't know why I didn't take it out and like put it through a chinois.
Why didn't you just start over?
Or just start over, but it's time. So I'm like, but I'm panicking. And I'm like, okay, Chef Michael, he's not going to taste it. He's a certified master chef. He's not going to taste it. And I got all these other dishes to hit. So like if this one goes wrong, I'm still going to pass. I never even got to those dishes. He tasted, get out, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Now I got to call my parents.
Oh my God.
Tell them I failed the practical. I got to repay for the practical. Fuck. There's no other classes to take, so I have to stay on campus.
So you're paying for room and board.
Paying for room and board. I could have went home, but like you don't come back. You wouldn't come back. Because you're watching kids like fail their practical, go home. They never come back because they get a job somewhere.
Yeah.
They don't come back. So I think like some of it is needed, but I feel like I was there for another 2 weeks. Like, why couldn't I schedule my practical again? Like, why am I wasting this money?
And they didn't let you?
No. So and of course, bullshit. I'm like, I registered talking to Letitia, emailing president. Like, come on. Like, no.
I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
Should have started over that soup.
I should have started over.
Drop the pepper. That will fuck anything up.
Correct.
And you knew that.
I tell young kids all the time, when you're going to like, you always have a pepper mill and you take your salt and you put it in a ramekin. Mm-hmm. Do not grab it. Do not do this. Do not do this. Yeah. Somebody come behind you, hit your arm, it spills, falls in. It happens to all of us, totally. But like real cooking moments for me.
Was there a teacher or a specific lesson in school that kind of stuck with you?
I think there's like two chefs always stick out. Chef Fry, who was French, he used to cook for like in the summers. He would like cook for like one of the Saudi princes. Wow! And he was like super famous. He always used to be like, Johnson, if your haircuts are as good as your knife cuts, you'd be really good.
With a French accent.
With a French accent, and it used to go over my head. And then one day it just like clicked. I was like in the kitchen cooking at Jane on West Houston. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh shit, he's right. If your haircuts are as good as your knife cuts, but he was talking about precision. Like where you go to the barber shop, you're like, yo, I want my haircut like this, my lineup like this, like fade me like this. Like you're telling them how you want it. If you take that same principle in the kitchen on the precision level, you'll be really, really good. Mm-hmm. And that was my first like click it moment. Like I'm starting to get it now.
But when he said that to you, it clicked afterwards.
No, in culinary school, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dog? Like, are you being racist right now? Like, what is going on? Because there's only like so many black kids at culinary school. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, what is going? Like, why are you? How can you even see my haircut? I have a
You have a
toque
hat,
on.
yeah.
I have a toque on. Like, how do you know?
I kind of loved it.
But it was like,
stayed
I
with
know
you,
what
though.
you're talking about.
Yeah, it stayed with you,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it popped up in the right moment.
And then Corky Clark, we would call him Corky Clark, but Chef Clark is the first chef you touch.
Okay.
It's for fish, butchery. And he would be like, don't come to my classroom with your knife sharp from the sharpening place.
Mm-hmm.
Sharpen your knives on your own, and I will know if your knives are sharp or not. And none of us know how to sharpen our knives. They give you like a video or thing. You're like trying to sharpen your knives. Not sharp. How are you going to cut this fish? So kids would go, like groups of kids would jump in people's cars.
And
And they would go get their knife sharpened. They would be so sharp. You could cut through the paper. And the first day he'd come around, he'd grab the knife and he would go like this to everybody's knife. And then he would take it across his arm, his hair, long hair on his arm. And he would take it across his arm. And Dana Calbo was like the first person. She wanted to get her knife sharp. I'll never forget this. And he like goes across his arm and all the hair falls off. And he's like, impossible you fucking sharpen this knife. She's like a girl from the Bronx. So she's like, I'm not scared of him. I'm not scared of him. Well, she was scared that day. She failed. She failed the whole
Did he
class.
even let her?
He kicked her out. She failed the whole joint. She had to get her parents to come to school to let her back in because it's like, yo, it's the first day. I'm not going back. But it just showed you, it was like, he didn't really care. He just wanted to see your effort.
Yeah.
Like if you gave him the effort
Getting
to
your
try
knife
to sharp,
sharpened.
he would know like, oh, this part was sharp, this part wasn't. And then that first day in class, he taught us all how to sharpen our knives. He just wanted to see the effort. And it's like sometimes you just got to show that you're putting the effort in.
Totally.
And then somebody will guide you along the way.
Yeah, taking it to the place was the easy way out.
Correct.
And you had perfect
Yeah,
knives.
I'll never forget that.
Jesus.
We still talk about Corky Clark. Like, and you'll see kids from CIA, like, there's a video trending right now of like how to debone, like this new mechanism to debone fish. You just like run it across the salmon and all the pin bones come out. And people are posting like, yo, imagine showing up to Corky Clark's class like that.
Out.
Out. Immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? For that situation, I'm kind of with him.
No, yeah, I mean,
I'm with him for that because he just wanted to see you guys try. And, you know, when you're that young, you think you're smarter than everyone.
Correct.
And you're like, well, fuck this. I'm going to get them perfect.
And I tell you all the time, I tell David Chang all the time, like, I'll take culinary school. I'll do culinary school all over again. Like,
Really?
yeah, it built a crazy foundation for me. I met a lot of great people. I don't think I'll be where I am without it. Yes, you can gain a lot of knowledge. You gain a lot of knowledge and cooking knowledge inside of
A restaurant.
restaurants. But in culinary school, you get the reps. It's like being an athlete. You're getting the reps in over and over and over and over to a certain point where you're like, I know I'm good or I know I'm really bad.
Well, it's a routine also, even setting up your station.
Right.
Sharpening your knives, which when you're hustling in a restaurant, it doesn't always.
And I'm not saying there's a lot of great chefs that have not been able to go to culinary school.
Totally.
But for me, I tell kids all the time, like,
also
and if you
discipline.
can't do it, take a class. Go take a small stint somewhere.
Totally.
You know.
I very much agree with you. I did a small stint and I think it changed the way, not how I cook, but how I set everything up, my speed, my cleanliness, everything. Because
Well,
you're
that jerk
just
chicken was slamming. I know you didn't learn that in culinary school, but you
Definitely not.
learned something
the
about.
French would have a lot to say about this chicken, probably.
But now the skin is crispy. All those things.
Yeah. Okay. From CIA, you went straight to New York City.
So
Right?
from CIA, I did my externship at Tribeca Grill, and it's like heyday, like 1,500 covers a night.
Jesus.
I remember them like calling giant punter, table 6, and Drew Nee Brown would walk in the kitchen and be like, "No, you can't touch that. You don't touch that plate." It's like people were only allowed to make certain things
Okay.
for celebrities. But that's like heyday. Like Nobu just opens, he owns the whole block. It's like crazy. So I worked at Tribeca Grill. I call it my first real restaurant I ever worked in. I stayed there for a while and cook. I maybe came back on the weekends from time to time and holidays and cooked there.
How long you think you were there?
I was there for a good year.
It's a solid amount of
Yeah.
time for a restaurant.
And then I do when culinary school, I was a personal chef for the lady who made Chanel No. 5. Sue
Wow.
Solomon, I'm still cool with her today.
This is still while you're in restaurant?
While I'm in CIA, yeah.
Oh, in CIA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I graduate CIA and I do Seton Hall. I work at Skytop. I graduate my bachelor's and I get a management and training job with Wegmans.
Oh, grocery store.
Correct. I don't know how I wind up here, but I get a management training job with Wegmans in like Pennsylvania. And I'm like living with my parents.
That's hard after you've lived away.
Yeah. I'm living with my parents and I'm commuting to New Jersey or Pennsylvania, like deep in Allentown or Reading, I don't remember. And I'm like in prepared foods.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, I want the CIA. Like, why am I wearing a cut glove? What am I doing in prepared foods? Like, who would ever know prepared foods would be like the thing?
Yeah.
Like prepared foods are like, that's the title. But like when you walk into Whole Foods and you get sushi and you get soups and you get sandwiches, pizza, like Wegmans is the OG of all that. They've been doing it for years.
I feel like most people wouldn't know that Wegmans kind of started that.
Right. So you go to Union Square Wegmans, you're like, oh my God, they got the best sushi. They've been doing this for years. And they've also been funding a lot of restaurants.
Really?
Like they're the family, like were the backers of Boule. Okay. Like all his restaurants were funded by a Wegmans family.
Wow.
Right? And rest in peace his soul. And so I'm there and I'm like, I didn't like the chef. The chef didn't like me. And I was kind of over it. So I would commute from my parents' house, or I was dating a girl in the Bronx at the time. I would go to the Bronx. I would stay at my aunt's house in Harlem because I would like party in the city. And then I was like, I'm putting my 2-week notice in.
Okay.
So I'm like looking for a job and I see this junior sous chef role at Jane on West Houston. Mm-hmm. And I go to the restaurant, but when I was working at Skytop, there was a chef named Bill. He was like, whatever restaurant you ever go to work in, you want to go have dinner there first. Before you go take an interview. You want to see like, are the bathrooms clean? How does maitre d'? How does servers? Do the servers talk bad about the restaurant? Is the food good? Mm-hmm. So I go, I eat there. I'm like, oh, the food's great. Staff is super friendly, blah, blah, blah. Then I go and I do my interview stage. Mm-hmm. And Brian Ellis at the time offers me the job.
Right on site.
Right on, like after shift, like, yo, you can have the job, blah, blah, blah. The executive sous chef was Jason Heiselman, who I went to culinary school with.
Amazing.
So it was like, okay, so it's like Brian, G, worked at like Chanterelle, Rocco, Union Pacific. I love Brian. He runs the Smith now. And so I worked for them for 3 years.
Wow.
Like through like when the market crashed.
Wow.
And learned a lot, like owners like back in the restaurant working, the markets crash, you will work 6 days a week, you will work a line, you will expedite, like all these things. And I was like just happy to have a job. Mm-hmm. And I like fucked up so much shit in that restaurant. Like I was fucking expediting. I kicked off the line. I had to call the owner to the restaurant one night. There's like so many things of like a young
cook. You learned there.
Yeah, but all the like Latino guys also guided me.
Sure.
So like the night I got kicked off the line by ownership because I couldn't get the food out the kitchen. And he was like, go home, fucking go home. Alfredo was like, do not go home. Go downstairs, organize the walk-in, help the team break down. Like you do not go home because everybody runs home, right? Don't go home, help out.
Yeah.
And then
shows.
Don't even ask if you're allowed to come in the next day.
Show up.
Just show up at 7 a.m. So I'm like, okay, Alfredo. Took all the steps Alfredo gave me. Showed up at 7 a.m. Chef Glenn Harris was there. He was the owner of Jane. And he was like, and I'm not JJ yet. He was like, oh, all right. And I just like start breaking down fish and blah, blah, blah. And I still have my job.
It was forgotten.
It was forgotten. I think it was kind of like, oh, this kid stayed. He showed up.
Yeah.
He didn't really ask me. He screwed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I worked at Jane. So Jane was like that was like my first, Tribeca was my first taste of like New York City, but that was like my first taste of like New York City restaurants, like hanging out late, early morning brunches, screwing up orders, running around New York City to find stuff when you're running out of things. And then I left there and I went to go work at Central Vinoteca. After Anne Burrell left, Leah Cohen was a chef, but I went to college with Leah.
Oh, wow.
So I got a little bit of like the Anne Burrell essence of her food. But that restaurant was wild.
How
like
so?
Straight up wild, like wild west.
Explain.
Like anything you could think of that goes on in a restaurant was going on inside that restaurant.
Sex, drugs.
Sex, drugs, money laundering, like it all.
Wow.
Like it was
So you got the real taste of New
wild,
York
like
City.
people fighting. Like it was wild.
Wow.
Yeah. And Leah like
Was that
bounced, like Leah,
exciting?
you bounced on us in there.
Yeah.
Me and her still talk about it.
Was that exciting to?
Not for me.
Okay.
Like I'm a serious, like if I'm working somewhere, I'm taking that shit serious. Like
Sure.
I'm a work hard, play hard type of dude. Like let's go play later, but I'm gonna still show up to work. I'm here to do my job. Like I'm not like, why are we doing drugs on the line?
To stay up?
Not for me. Like,
them.
why are you showing up 3 hours too late to work?
I know, that's
like
not
leaving
okay.
one person to work the line by themselves for brunch.
No.
Right? Like, why is a restaurant filthy when you walk in the next? Like, it's just dumb.
Okay. So on
stuff.
top of it being fun, it was just a
was
shit
just,
show.
Yeah, it was a shit show. And also, like, there wasn't a lot of restaurants because the market still didn't recover. Right? So restaurants were dropping like flies. And I applied for a job at Morgan Stanley. And I get a call back and I go to take the job at Morgan Stanley, but I didn't know it was an executive dining room.
I was just going to ask, what exactly?
So, most of the time when you work in corporate America, you think about corporate cafeterias. That's what I thought the job was for. And I was like, I'm just going to go to this because I need to get out of this freaking place.
Okay.
But the interview was on the 41st floor, 1585 Broadway. Oh, wow. And I roll up and it's like beautiful stainless steel, super clean kitchen, organized walk-in.
Wow.
And Zach Friedman was a chef. He used to be at Chanterelle, EMP, all the stuff. And he like talking to me, changed the menu every day.
Wow.
John Mack was the CEO at the time. And the guys in the kitchen been there a really long time. They were like older gentlemen.
That's their career.
This is their career. They got pensions, 401ks. No. They're getting washer and dryers for Christmas, for presents, they're telling me. So I do my tasting, I get the job. And wow. I stayed at Morgan Stanley for 2.5 years. But I had the itch for like, I want to go back into the private sector. There's no room really for growth. Nobody's offering me growth here. Zach
it's
isn't
kind of like a
anywhere.
set stage.
Set stage. And I did like, you're talking about like breaking rules. Like I shot a self-published cookbook inside of Morgan Stanley's kitchen.
Okay. How did that fly?
Because I get guests, so I would have my photographer who was a friend, and we just shot it in the kitchen. I was like cooking food and just shot it in the kitchen.
Wow.
They might come for me now, but yeah,
they had no idea.
No, maybe they don't care. I don't know.
Wow, what was the name of this cookbook?
I think it's like the tattoo on my arm. Somebody's let. What is the name of it?
You need to know this.
I talk about it like if I have never done it before.
Okay.
Because I think all of us do things in our career at some point where we're like, we don't want to talk about that.
I mean,
this is what I do. Food is what I do. Food is what I do. Food is who I am.
Okay.
I was like 24.
24. You were young.
Self-published a book. My friends helped me shoot it. And then whatever we could shoot in Morgan Stanley, we shot at my aunt's house in New Jersey.
I love it.
Yeah. So
I feel like you should resurface this. I'd be curious to look through it. Was it like high end or was it more you?
It's like whatever I was cooking at the time. I think it was like lobster rolls in there. There was like, fried chicken. It was like all things. There's like little stories. My friend Chris Stewart from CIA, she helped me write it. Now she's at Laurent. Now she's like running Laurent Tourdel's restaurants on the back end.
Okay.
But yeah, no,
I think you should resurface this.
Maybe I should resurface it. Yeah. It's like a little paperback book.
Yeah. I feel like that shows where you started. Now you have 2 books behind your belt, 3 really.
Yeah. So yeah, Morgan Stanley. And then I started to apply for jobs.
Okay.
And this is when it was like, when I look back, I'm like, okay, I was applying for a lot of like CDC, executive sous chef roles, and I was not getting callbacks, or I would do tastings, and they'd be like, oh, nah, you're not.
It's not it.
Not it for us. And they're like, what do you mean? Well, like, you don't have enough experience. Like, what?
At that point, you've had 5+ years of experience.
Exactly. I'm like, what? Maybe more than that. 2 years here,
You said 3, 2.
5. Yeah, 3, 5, 6 years. I'm like, what? And maybe I wasn't ready for a CDC role, but I definitely was ready for an executive sous chef role. And people were like, well, you work in a corporate kitchen, so like you're not ready for like this private sector. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I know food costs, labor costs, I know how to write a budget. I know how to order. I know how to make order guides. All I got to do is learn how you guys want the food to go out.
Yeah.
And I took a job interview with Tao Group for a steakhouse they were doing at the time. And I also went on Rocco's dinner party on Bravo. And I wind up like winning my episode on Rocco's dinner party. And
Was this your first TV?
first time on television.
Did you love it? Or?
It was cool. I was trying out that was like the era when Chop was like on fire. And I was trying out for Chop and I wouldn't get on. And one of the producers from Chop was like, there's this new show on Bravo coming out. You'll be perfect for it.
Oh, cool.
And I'm going to pitch you to the I'm going to pitch for you. And I was like, okay. And I remember going through this interview process and they're like, and I think this is literally what got me on the show. They're like, so, what do they call you in the kitchen? I was like, oh, they call me JJ. Because at Morgan Stanley, Ozzy will call me JJ because there was other Joes. There was a guy named Joseph and Joe. We call him Joseph and Joey. So it's like, you're going to be JJ in this kitchen.
So that gave you your name.
The kitchen gave me my name.
Wow.
So
Prior to that, you were just being called Chef Joseph?
I was just Joseph, Joe, because there was always Joe, Joey, Joe number 2. And if you like know me through my life, like, when somebody met me because they might call me Joe. My family only calls me Joseph. If you know me from like a little kid, they might call me Little Joe because my dad has the same first name as me.
Okay.
So
Morgan Stanley gave you JJ.
So Morgan Stanley gives me JJ. So I'm like, oh, the kitchen, like I say it like very like, oh, the kitchen calls me JJ. And like I go on the show and they take my name and make it JJ Johnson.
Wow.
And when the show comes out, it says JJ Johnson at the bottom, and I've never been at anything ever since.
That's amazing.
Right? And I win my episode.
Did you like it or was it confusing?
It was cool. It was cool. Like, I'm a competitor at heart. Like, I come from a very sports-driven family. Like, I played sports all my life. My sister played Division I basketball. My dad ran AAU basketball program. Like, we've always been a competitive family. And I think it's good for your kids to compete.
It is.
Right? Like, at a high level, because you're going to compete in life. Forever. So I've always had a competitive spirit. So like the clock hits, I'm ready to go. And I remember that guy on the episode, he's like, hey man, I got kids. Please like don't talk trash about me. I'm like, okay. I don't talk trash about this guy. This episode comes out, this dude's trashing me. Like literally trashing me.
What?
And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Wait, walk me through the show. Is it like
so you go against 3 chefs in the beginning, you cook.
Okay.
You taste each other's food so you can like commentary on it.
I see.
And you make it out of that round. And then I remember my round being like speakeasy vibes. And I cooked like Harlem, Brownstone, Beneath Ground, what it would be. And he cooked like something in New Jersey, speakeasy. And my show, like judges were epic. It was like Marcus Samuelson, Rocco DeSpirito, and what was her name? She was like on top. She was like a judge that floated around. It was like an epic like foodie crew.
Damn.
And I made like shrimp and grits. And but it was great. And that led me, like, so I think I'm gonna now go take this job with Tao Group. And I get a call from a gentleman named Alexander Smalls. And he's like, hey, I saw you on this show. He emails me. I saw you on this show and you remind me of my father.
Wow, that's a strong email.
I'm like, okay. And I'm like looking this dude up. And all it kept showing me was like opera singer.
Yeah, he's got a wide range of
like crazy, like Broadway.
But also
that.
Food. Oh.
And like had a restaurant. I'm like, who is? I'm like asking people, like, has anybody heard about him? Like, most people are like, no. What was interesting, he wanted to, I was like, oh, I'd love to meet you. And he goes, oh, let's meet for breakfast. And it's like 4 blocks from my house.
Oh.
I'm like, oh,
so you're in Harlem at the
time?
I'm
in Harlem. Okay. I'm like, this is interesting. Like on Broadway, like, or Amsterdam somewhere. I'm like, this is interesting. Not knowing that he lived 5 blocks north of that meeting point. So we meet And we start to connect, and he's like, hey, I'm going to go to Ghana. Do you want to cook?
What does that mean exactly?
And I'm like, he's like, I've been asked to take over this like hotel for a month or 2 months, do American themed dinners. Do you want to go and cook and run the kitchen? I was like, I've never been to Ghana before. I'm like, well, how much it cost? He's like, no, they'll pay for your flight. You'll be good. But, you just got to get all your immunizations. So I remember calling my mom, like, yeah, I'm going to go to Ghana. My mom's like, who you going to Ghana with? I'm like, oh, this dude Alexander. She's like, no, you're not. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, she's like, you just told me you got this job. Like, you should take this job. Like, nah, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to go to Ghana. I'm not going to take it. So I stayed at Morgan Stanley. I had like 6 weeks of vacation. I told Chef Zach I got invited to cook in Ghana. And can I take my 6 weeks of vacation? And what I'll do is Morgan Stanley closes their dining room for the 3 weeks inside of like Christmas. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk to him and see if it could be like 3 weeks and then like 3 weeks in January. And then I just need a couple days to get reacclimated. And Zach was like, yeah, go ahead. You're good.
Wow.
So I go to Ghana, and then that's where I found myself, through food.
What was the setup in Ghana? Where were you cooking? What were you cooking?
Cooked at a space called Villa Monticello, which is a women-owned hotel. Wow. Like 10 minutes off the airport. We were cooking American-themed dinner. So like Monday would be barbecue, Tuesday would be soul food, so on and so forth. I think we did Christmas dinner, we did Thanksgiving dinner, we did all type of things. I think it was over November, started in November. So we did Thanksgiving over like 3 days. Through Christmas, yeah, into the New Year. And then on the days that we weren't cooking, I was like hanging out with the concierge Kingsley. I was with like the ministry's daughter, like eating at people's houses, going to the club, like partying, like the whole 9 yards.
And Alexander was with
Alexander was there, yep. Mm-hmm. And that's where I found myself. And in that process, that's when Alexander was like, I'm working on this restaurant called the Cecil, with Dick Parsons. And I was like, okay, great. Yeah, amazing. And I held on to that. Like he was saying, like, you're going to be my chef. You're going to be my chef. And I held on to that with him for like a year.
So you've come back.
He's saying this. We're doing all these tastings in his house, cooking for all these people, writing all these menus, pulling all this inspiration. And then he's like, oh, we're going to do a jazz club now, too. Okay. But they hired a different chef for the jazz club, Chef Banks, who's in Atlanta now. He was like cooking at a soul food restaurant, southern restaurant in San Francisco that they searched out. They brought Banks for that. So they brought Banks in, and then they had me do the Cecil. And listen, the Cecil for me, like I owned it more than they owned it. Mm. Like I was in there working.
Completely. You built your own team?
I built my own team. I would say, a mixed menu between me and Alexander. It's his Afro-Asian American cooking. It's his brainchild. I just interpreted what that meant to me. And that's when I dove really like heavily into like Barbados and learning about like the Japanese, Brazilian influence and all these things. But, early on it was a mixture of both our menus. And then I think Alexander let me ride with it and it grew into my own thing. Mm-hmm.
How long?
I was at Cecil for like, from the day it opened to the day it closed.
Wow. And what was that time frame?
I think like 4 years.
Why did it close?
Restaurant business stuff.
Just,
people being
people.
People are people. People are people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Epic, I think it actually changed for me. I believe the Cecil changed the whole dining scene in the world.
How so?
Because nobody was really cooking from their own diaspora. Like people were just honing a craft and cooking that food. And with the Cecil, people were like, hold on, these dudes are cooking like who they believe they are? Like I never even heard of this before. Like they're cooking food of the whole African diaspora from West Africa. Well, maybe I can cook Korean food from where my grandmother's from. Or maybe I could cook French food from where my family's from in this little village. And it changed the whole dynamic of like how people cook food. And that's, Cecil's 10 years ago.
Okay.
Right? Started in 2015, right? 11 years ago,
yeah.
right? So over that course of time, it gave a lot of chefs inspiration to say, I'm going to try to cook something different. And I think
just my roots.
or just my roots. And you see it in today's food, like across the whole map. And that's what Alexander really did really well, was give a lot of people, chefs, motivation to be able to cook who they are without asking for permission.
That's beautiful.
Right? But yeah, the Cecil was there. I held on.
When did you guys do?
We dropped that book 2018.
While you were still at the restaurant?
We were still at the restaurant.
What was that experience like?
Writing a book.
Yeah.
You know,
and writing a book with, was it completely 50-50? The two of you brought recipes?
So Veronica Chambers is the writer, the co-writer, co-author. And then Alexander's the storyteller. And I brought the recipes. And that's how the book is. You'll see my voice throughout the book, but it's a great book.
It's a fantastic book. And you have a James Beard Award on this
I won
book.
a James Beard Award for that book. But yeah, no, listen, Alexander's the first person to ever give me a chance to like run a kitchen when everybody else was telling me no. And, you know, I call that, you know, the claim to my fame is a Cecil. It opened up the doors to a lot of other things in my career.
After
Cecil,
is that when you
did Fieldtrip?
Yeah.
No, so like after Cecil, I had the idea to do Fieldtrip.
Okay.
But I went and did a residency at Chef's Club.
What is that?
So Chef's Club was the old Teresi space.
Oh, great location.
Crazy location. They would bring in like
Huge.
Michelin star chefs to do these like residencies from all over the world. And my boy Aaron ran the program at that time. And through my, you know, I won Forbes 30 under 30 at the Cecil. So I met this dude named Jerron Smith, who happens to be Steph Curry's CMO.
Okay.
And he's like, listen, sometimes I tell Steph all the time, like sometimes you just got to call a friend when you're in need. And I was like, this is when I met him. Like, yo,
I feel like this is like the teacher
like,
telling
what are
you
you
that.
talking about, man? And when I left the Cecil, I was
Wise
like, yo,
riddles.
who can I call? Because like I need to figure out what to do. Like I'm not going back into a restaurant. Plus, like at that time, my fiance, my wife now, is pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Right? Like she's
Okay.
pregnant
Happening all at once.
all at once. It always happens that
It
way.
does.
And so I call Aaron. I'm like, yo, man, I got this fast casual concept. Can I test it at Chef's Club Counter? He's like, nobody wants to take over Chef's Club Counter. I'm like, oh, let me just do like a one night. He's like, all right, but like, he's like, Stefan, he only wants Michelin star chefs, but I'm gonna talk to him. So he talks to him. He wants me to bring JJ in. I want to meet him. I meet him. I meet his wife. And his wife is like, yo, let him do it. Like, why are you giving this kid a hard time? Like, let him do it.
Yeah.
So we do Chef's Club Counter. We put up one reservation, sells out in like an hour.
Incredible.
We put up for 2 more nights, so it's sold out. At the end of it, the next day, he was like, yo, you were profitable. I've never had a chef come in here that's profitable. He's like,
Because your costs were
the
probably
costs
so
were
much
there,
lower than-
was managing the labor. He's like, what about you take over Chef's Club for 3 weeks?
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay. I don't want to do full service anymore. So I go take over Chef's Club. They have a staff there. I bring in a sous chef, and we run it for 3 weeks, and it turns into 3 months.
Wow.
And in that process of that 3 months,
Always in the same location.
in the main location, I would say like, if you name a celebrity, they came. People were coming through. Like it was.
What was your menu?
So my menu had like a couple items that I did at like things that I was like my oxtail dumplings, my collard green salad.
Delicious.
And then I was trying out some new stuff. Like I was doing like dal prairie roti with 3 dips. We did like a jerk chicken. We did goat noodles, which was like peanut sauce with udon and pickled red onions. We did tuna tartare on shishito leaves.
How often were you changing?
We changed a little bit, but we were just rocking through. It was crazy. And the great thing there was like, and I say this all the time, like when you're finding the equation to open a restaurant, you need a little bit of everything. The greatest thing about Chef Club was that the location was
so
close,
prime.
but was close for my base, which was Black people or people from Brooklyn and from Manhattan.
It's like the perfect.
And they could meet. The trains all were fluid. And then Stefan had access to, like, his wife was a model, had access to all the models in New York City. So like she would host them, and then they would go back and tell these guys that they were dating to come and have dinner there.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of how New York City works.
It's who you know. It's who's talking.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fashion industry was coming. So now you have this melge of all these different people eating in there, and people meeting people, nobody wanting to leave. The music, hip hop and R&B is playing.
It was a whole vibe.
It was a whole vibe. New York Times wound up doing a profile piece on me.
Incredible.
Which was really phenomenal. But it was probably one of the most epic moments that I was like, oh shit, I could do something on my own. Like I worked really hard at the Cecil. I worked so hard at the Cecil, I gave myself an ulcer.
Right.
And I was like, I could do something on my own. In that process, that's where I raised money. So
Because people then trusted you.
people
fully.
then trusted me. And Stefan didn't write a check, but he was telling people to write checks.
Okay.
Dick Parsons didn't write a check, but he was telling people to write checks. So like if somebody wanted to write a check, I could be like, oh, you could call those guys.
Wow.
And then they were like, oh yeah, JJ's great. And when you have that, it changes the whole game. And then that's when we went to open up Fieldtrip.
Just out of curiosity, you said your wife was pregnant, or your now wife was pregnant. Between the 3 months here before opening Fieldtrip, when were your twins born?
My twins were born 2017.
And when did you open Fieldtrip? 2008?
Supposed to be 2018, 2019.
19. Okay. All right. They
and then
came.
COVID came. And then COVID hit.
Yes.
Whole different game. But yeah, no. My wife never actually, I think I'm talking to you, she never was like, I'm 100% know she was concerned, like, where's this dude getting money from? But she was never like pressuring me to be like, yo, what's up? Where's your check? Where's this? Oh, you're working too late. You're doing this. You're doing that. She never was, I would say I'm great because of her, but she never like was on me in any of those moments. And I'm talking to you now.
Very trusting wife.
Yeah.
Or not even wife at the time.
Correct. She's like, what
Very
the fuck
trusting.
She's probably like, what the fuck did I what the fuck did I sign up for?
She was saying that in her.
And her to our homegirls are like, what's going on here?
You should talk to them.
But no, yeah.
Okay, what was the time frame between the 3 months here, raising money, and then, I guess, what was the process like?
So the process was like we raised family and friend rounds. I think what really kicked it off was like somebody came to eat at Chef's Club. I haven't seen them in a long time. Katie and her husband Carlisle, and she was like, "Yo, I heard you raising money for a restaurant." I was like, "Oh yeah, what's up?" She's like, "Oh, Carlisle invest."
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen you since we used to party together. Like, why are you throwing your husband?" And he's like, "Yeah. You know, like call me." And I think that's when it gave me confidence. Like they didn't write the biggest check, but they wrote a check. And I was like, oh, I could just like go up to anybody and be like, yo, do you want to write it? Do you want to invest? Because that's all it is.
yeah.
And they're going to tell you yes or no. And that's what I started to do. Like people would sit at the chef counter and I'd be like, oh yeah. They're like, what are you doing next? Like, well, I'm working on raising money. You want to invest? So I met a guy from like Bank of America because of that.
Amazing.
And then the landlord, the president of the building that we're in for Fieldtrip was in a co-op. It's a co-op. He was hounding me. So he would come to Chef's Club all the time, like, yo, sign this lease. We're going to give you a good deal. And I'm a big believer of like how you get recruited is how you play. And one day he came and he was like, oh, I got this guy who wants to invest in you. And I was like,
who?
This dude. He's like 23 years old. I'm like, this guy.
Well, that's impressive.
He's like, yeah. Like him and his family want to invest. I was like, yeah, okay. I was like, yeah, Josh, you just trying to do anything you want to do. And then the dude was like, yeah, we want to invest. Like I've been in here several times. I love your food. My family's been in here.
Wow.
We're a big component of like supporting the future. We like investing in people that want to in Harlem, and they wind up investing to get me over the hump.
Wow.
Still not enough money.
Well, you need a lot of money to open a restaurant.
Right. And luckily, like I had my own money too that I was able to put in.
Sure.
From like cookbook stuff and being on television and whatever else I was doing. I'm trying to think like what other cooking things was I doing, but and then that family was like, well, how much money are you putting in? I'm like, oh, I'm putting in about 50 to 100,000. Like, oh, really? Okay, great. Because everybody wants to know if you're putting any money in. And that's what took us over the hump. And they've been really big supporters.
And they're still.
Oh, they're still in. And that's how Fieldtrip got started. And then the pandemic hit. So.
What was the concept? Something different? Before
originally
COVID
I never worked in a fast food restaurant in my life. Like I never worked at all these chefs like I worked at McDonald's. I'm like,
nope,
never worked in a McDonald's. So like even though we call it quick service, but like doing fast food, it's a totally different game. So originally my inspiration of Fieldtrip was to do momofuku, but with rice instead of ramen noodles. And all the rice would come from the farm. And it would be a story, the flavors and all that stuff. We would have like a
kind of like a bar setting.
Bar set up.
Okay.
We would have some type of small cocktail program. We'd have wines. My business partner at the time was Will Sears, who was like John Fraser, Milos, very operational guy. And then we couldn't get enough money.
I see.
So we were like, okay, so what can we do? We're like, okay, let's do this fast casual thing. Let's do all the flavors you want to do, just put it in a paper plate. And we already have this thing built, and let's do it. But it's a totally different game.
It's more like assembly line, right?
It is an assembly line. It is not even assembly. It is a supply chain game.
Okay.
Like, who can get the product you want at the best possible price that you can charge people the least amount of money for that you could be profitable?
And you were doing all of that.
Yeah, I always wanted to do that because Will decided to stay at John Fraser's and just work behind the scene.
I see. Okay. So you were doing
and then
all.
I wound up being the chef and the operator. And then a dear friend of mine Lisa Cash, who's our director of ops now, was a consultant because I couldn't do it all. She worked with me at the Seesaw. She kind of came in. Samantha Davis was part of culinary program who was with me at Chef's Club, who has a hot sauce line now.
Awesome.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of key people through the process of like building a team. It's so small and mighty. And
what were some of like the biggest challenges while building this from ground up?
I always say the biggest challenge of it all is just having cash. Like I understand why people raise money all the time. That's all they do.
It's a sport.
It is literally like, I'm like, hold on, didn't you just finish raising money? You just told me you raised 10 million. Why are you back on the market? But it's like people that raise money have real business and they're like, oh, 10 million lasts me to this date. Even if I make money, it only lasts me to this date. So I got to figure out what to do next. And me, I've learned that through the process. My parents didn't raise money.
Sure.
My friends,
nothing that you needed to know until
my
this
friends
moment.
didn't at that time. My friends now, a lot of them raise money, but none of them were like, "Yo, man, you need to do this," or your operating agreement needs to say this, or this is how it should be. Like I learned that in like tapping into like lawyers and things. Or I took a guy's class. I call him the restaurant encyclopedia, Riley Langenson, who's my attorney. I took his restaurant class on how to raise money.
Wow.
And I still have the book. Right? And that's how like I met Keith Durst from FOC and like all these guys out there that like run New York City, but like I didn't know any of that. Yeah. So it is a sport. And it is tough because it's based on like how people perceive you.
Sure. It
has nothing to do with anything else. Like you could have the most profitable business, but if people perceive you to be less than the business, it doesn't really matter. That's why all these guys, and if they perceive you to be more than the business, why do these people get all this money? You're like, how do they get all that money? They got a prototype. Well, it's not the prototype. It's the person and the people, the team. Yep. So, yeah. I think the hardest part is money, but I think restaurants are a margin game. And how much of the margin are you constantly looking at in every line item? Like, you might want to get to 20% profitability. You might be at 10 right now. Okay, so where's the other 10 coming from? You got to go like line by line by line by line by line, looking and take it out and squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it.
But do you think from shifting from the original concept to to the to go essentially, it brought your margins down a lot more.
It does, but now you're in the paper game, the plate game, the top game, the fork game, the napkin
But less
game.
workers, or not really?
Yes, you don't have servers.
Yeah.
It all depends. I mean, listen, we do pretty okay for ourselves. You know, I think this would be our best year yet.
Incredible.
But you still are like, I made a lot of mistakes, like tons of them.
Okay.
Like just ones that I can go back. Like when I'm in like a board meeting, I'm like, hey guys, that $50,000, like I lost that $50,000.
Oh, okay.
Like that's because like I can say that to the board, or I can say it to investors. And it's not like because it was a bad thing. It was like because it was like when you look back, you're like, oh, I brought on that employee way too early.
I gotcha.
Like I hired a PR firm for what? For 3 years? I could open 2 restaurants.
Wow. Yeah, PR is expensive.
So like you go through, because a lot of us are like looking too much to the left and the right in the process, being like, oh, I got to be like this person. I got to be like, you just got to trust the process and know when to activate certain things. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what the restaurant industry is going through now. Is like their restaurant owners are treating it more like a tech business and less like a restaurant business.
I could see that. I think especially post-COVID, and we should talk about what you've done during COVID, but we're now just seeing a new wave, or at least I think we're now just seeing a new wave of restaurants. But I do think COVID opened up this gap that all these new guys couldn't afford to ever.
No. And like how many, listen, I love Danielle. I love Jean-Georges. I want to be them one day. But like how many fucking restaurants can you give them?
Yeah.
And when I mean give them, like physically developers give them restaurants.
Because of their name.
Write them a check, build them a restaurant. Like how many, and what happens is you lose all this talent.
Yeah. Because they can't afford it. They can't afford to do it.
But there's guys out there that have restaurants that are legit. I give mad kudos to Simon at Coat. But what did Simon do? He built a whole old school G board of directors that you don't even know are his board of directors. So when he goes to a developer like L&L and they're like, oh, so you really think you could build a vertical restaurant 3? He's like, oh yeah, look who's on my board.
Yeah.
Then L&L's like, oh yeah, I mean, I've done a restaurant with this guy, and this guy. So then they feel comfortable. And that's what I learned. It's like, okay, my new board will reflect, which make a lot of developers comfortable so that you could get restaurants without coming out of your own pocket. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of that goes on in New York City. And the youth gets passed up on.
I know.
And then you want to know why we only have these types of restaurants.
Well, we do know why.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if everyone else knows why, but
that's my biggest thing is like how long you got to keep proving yourself. Oh yeah, all you need is one to prove yourself. Oh no, let me see. That was uptown. Let me see what you could do downtown.
It's a different world,
right? Oh no, let me see what you could do in the Upper East Side. Before you know, you got 5 restaurants on your own. You're like, okay, I don't even care about you guys anymore.
Sure.
And then what happens is the media stops talking about you because you have 5 restaurants and you're not cool and you're not this and you're not that, but people that have 5 restaurants are the ones that are cool. They're employing a lot of people. They're keeping the garbage companies open. They're
keeping a lot of people fed and paid.
Right, and paid and putting kids through college. There's a lot of things going on that the media, I feel, forgets about in that realm.
I want to skip slightly.
Sorry.
No, it's good conversation, but I'm very curious because I'm a mother. You are a father of 2, of just what that life balance is for you. You have 2 twins. You have twins.
Yes, not 2.
Well, who knows?
Just 2 kids, y'all, not 4. 2 kids.
2 kids that are now 8.
8, yeah.
How was juggling this pretty impressive career, opening Fieldtrip, being on TV, but also being a father?
I'm a firm believer of like my kids live life through me.
How? Explain.
And my wife. I think a lot of families live through their kids.
Like you bring your kids into your world.
Yeah, like I'm bringing my kids into my world so they can see stuff and live it, right? So they get to experience it. Sure. Everything I'm doing is now I'm not living things through there's plenty of moments where I'm living through my kids' world, going to their school, dance, recitals, going to their soccer games, basketball games. There's plenty of things that I'm living through them. But they should be able to see life through my eyes and through my wife's eyes so that they can gain experience.
Of course.
So a lot of things that we do, gears them to be like, they laugh. My kids laugh now. Like, oh my God, I saw you on this TikTok video. Like, you're like, ha, ha, ha. Like, you know. But for them, it's like joyous, like, oh, because it's very relatable to them. Or they see me on television cooking, and I show it to them. Like, oh, remember when I was not here for 5 days? This is where I was, right? Or my daughter makes these jokes like, how many restaurants do you need? I'm like, I need more for you because you cost a lot of money. But, you know.
It's very real.
It's very real. So I'm a firm believer of that. And then I think my household is two very heavily career-driven people.
Your wife is also a nurse.
My wife's a nurse. She has her own career.
Yeah.
Right? I tell people that all the time. Like, my wife has her own career. She works at one of the most prominent hospitals in New York City or the world.
Sure.
And like, she sometimes just don't have no time for me. And like, she got her own stuff, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we got to support each other in the best ways. Some early on, we've had a nanny. When I travel, sometimes my parents come into town, my mother-in-law comes into town, or sometimes my kids go to my parents' house. Because you gotta find the balance. Sometimes Aunt Jeannie comes over to watch my children. Like, it's just what it is.
It takes an army.
But it takes a real army.
Are there any specific routines that you've kept with you and your kids?
Yeah, I take my kids to school every morning. I drop my kids off to school every morning.
And this is in Harlem?
It's in Harlem, yeah. I take my kids to school every morning. Before we had a car, we used to walk every day. Now I take my kids to school every morning, and I probably 4 out of the 5 days are hustling to get my kids to a practice.
Okay.
Now in life.
Post-school.
Yeah, like soccer practice, like right after school. Like and then I'm on like in the field on like calls or on my laptop talking business meetings at the time. Or I'm like running home, cooking dinner.
Do you cook dinner every night?
I might cook like 3 nights, cook dinner, and then bringing my son like basketball practice starts at 7 o'clock.
7 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
It's a late practice.
Late. But
that's bedtime.
Yeah, but like those are the nights you're a real mother. That's the mother in you. All the dads out here are like, they're good, don't worry.
That is when you're winding down.
Yeah, on the regular days, that's when they are winding down, ready to go to bed at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But there's days where my son is like 8:15 and then come back for like 8:15 eating, then going to bed. There's times that my wife probably wanted to kick me out. He's showing up at like 10 o'clock on a Wednesday. Like, yo, what are you doing? He's 8. Like, chill out.
Yeah.
But
that's exactly what I would say. What do you think is next?
What do I think?
Well, I know that JFK is technically next.
Well, yeah.
When is that opening?
Fieldtrip JFK will open in March.
Wow, a few months.
Should be February.
Yeah, but it's always a plus month or two.
I don't get these things, but yeah, March, which is really big for us. T4, right when you come down the escalator in Delta Terminal, and you can go right or left, you'll see Fieldtrip like straight at you. Just how I'm looking at you right now, like you'll hit it.
I can't wait.
And I can't wait either. And, you know, I'm working on some other stuff. Like this for me, the last 2 years, 2025 was an interesting year. A lot of different things. I think the world is shaking up in a lot of different ways.
I think especially in food.
And food industry is changing tremendously. But I'm going for what's really next for me is taking my own personal business and making it a real business.
Okay. Like your personality?
Yeah, like me as a personality and making it a real business. All business is gritty. Even JP Morgan Chase is gritty.
Yes.
But like having experts in place to run the business, not just me. Like I don't want to be the operator anymore.
You can't do it all.
I don't want to be operating. I can't be the operator of talent.
You could pick one thing that you operate, and I think that seems like Fieldtrip. But once you add other things, it just
excuse me. No,
it blends in.
You're correct.
So I think you're taking the right route for 2026 of hiring the right people to manage that, because you'll soar if you have the right team.
And that's how, from your mouth to God's ears, that's how I look at it. And that's really what's next.
Okay.
Is like
amping
up
JJ.
experts in spaces, people like I don't want to say poaching, but like getting with folks that are running.
taking them out.
Yeah.
Taking them out. Bringing them to you.
Yeah, no. And I believe it's like you'll see my team evolve. It'll be a mixture of like old school, new school.
Okay.
Some folks that have like run like
balance.
legitimate big brands that you love that are like, oh, I'm tired over here and I want something new that I can say I did this. And those are the type of folks I want. And then like young, new energy that's like looking at the food space differently than how I look at the food space.
Those are two great minds that can work together.
Yeah.
If they can work together, because it's different approach.
I'm a firm believer of like hiring good people and the rest of it will work itself out.
I think that's fair to believe in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was amazing. We learned a lot about you. I feel like I could still ask you another 15 questions about so many different parts of your life, but you gave us a really beautiful journey of how you got to where you currently are, which is an incredible hot seat for a chef.
No, thanks a lot. I really appreciate being here.
Yeah.
Your rice was good.
Thank God.
Coconut milk was delicious in there.
Thank
the
God.
fragrance, the jerk chicken was popping.
That
Thank you
makes
for
me so
using
happy.
the quarter leg.
You are so welcome. It was not that I knew that you liked it. It was because that is my favorite piece of the bird.
So I'm going to invite you over next time.
Okay, I'll come. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Where can I tell people to find you on your social
On
platforms?
social, you can find me on everything Chef JJ.
Okay, you heard the man. Chef JJ on all platforms.
Or you can just come pull up at Fieldtrip. I'm there. Pull up at Fieldtrip. Harlem, Rock Center, the Bahamas and the Atlantis.
Let's go to Bahamas.
JFK Airport. Yeah.
In
We'd
this
love to have
cold?
you. We'd love to have you in the Bahamas and you too.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on Campers and during this amazing conversation with Chef JJ. This is his technically second book, but this is his first published book that is absolutely phenomenal. You can buy it anywhere, and I highly suggest that you do. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe to Campers wherever you listen to podcasts and leave a review. I'll catch you next time.